For several years, I've been sharing the news and progress of the Disney Adventure World project, something that has evolved with time and will soon open its gates to everyone that visits the Disneyland Paris resort. And every time I talk about this project, be that during a news update video or a construction update one, there's a few comments from people that do not appreciate the size of something like this. All this work for a 40-year-old ride clone, or so long for so little, are two of the most common ideas from such comments. And to an extent, I agree, but I also think that Disney Adventure World will completely transform the Parisian resort, being a project with a scale never seen here since 1992 with the original park's opening. So today I invite you to come with me as I explore what exactly makes this project so ridiculously important for Paris and how it'll change the way we enjoy these parks. If you're watching this video, chances are you're familiar with Disneyland Paris. You know that there are 6 very large hotels around the parks, a shopping and entertainment district with Disney Village, and 2 theme parks. The first being Disneyland Park, the crown jewel of the Disney decade, and what many people consider to be the most beautiful Disney park in the world. And then there's the second park, opened 10 years after the first and in no way comparable to it. Since the opening of Walt Disney Studios, the little investment the park saw was directed this way, as small projects tried to add something worth spending your time in. We saw the addition of Toon Studios, the Tower of Terror, Toy Story Playland, and Place de Remy, which was also the last expansion the resort saw back in 2014. The investment continued to flow that way. In 2022, Avengers Campus came along, and while not an expansion, it saw the rework of the backlot with the removal of one attraction and construction of a new ride. So Disneyland Paris isn't used to large expansions in any way. Everything we saw was small scale overall, but then comes this, a big project that aims to completely transform the Walt Disney Studios park and double its footprint. Studios has many rides that are worth your time, with some of the best being here like Tower of Terror. What it doesn't have is space. The park missed on a key element that the one next door did so wonderfully, and that was just how enjoyable it is to do nothing at all. Well, with that in our minds, this expansion will double the size of the park, bringing large areas to wander and enjoy. But while it is creating a completely new side, the existing parts will be very well connected too. You'll be able to get to the lake from many areas around the current park, from Avengers Campus to Worlds of Pixar, making it a very well-rounded layout. Adventure Way and Adventure Bay will now become the heart of the park, with 2 new rides being featured here with Tangled and Up, which is opening a little bit later. These 2 areas will also share a main architecture style based on Art Nouveau and garden parks that are very common in Paris. It works in a way similarly to Epic Universe's Celestial Gardens, being the main gateway to all the lands in the park. While many people focus on Frozen and Frozen alone, in my opinion, Adventure Bay will be the real crown jewel of the park. This entire expansion has been designed and built around the lake, making sure it's the perfect place to create 360-degree shows day and night. Around the lake lie several buildings, from smaller kiosks to medium-sized pavilions and the large Regal View restaurant. A new parade route has also been thought of, coming from the left of Arendelle, going around Adventure Bay, down Adventure Way, and ending by Studio Theater. It's unknown when a full-blown parade will come, but it's rumored that a smaller cavalcade will be added to the entertainment of the park soon after it opens next year. Frozen is obviously the anchor of the expansion, and while yes, it does only have one ride in it, it will still be an incredible themed area. So much thought has been put into the creation of Arendelle, and that will most certainly be visible the moment you step foot inside. The ride itself is based on the layout of Maelstrom from Epcot, which was later converted into Frozen Ever After, but that's it. The ride uses a completely new ride system with more thrilling drops. The scenes are larger and feature new animatronics and effects. The ride capacity is much larger compared to Epcot's, the queue is longer and better themed, and there are so many other improvements. But the biggest is that the ride blends seamlessly within the world it's in. From the marina to the trees all around it, to the waterfall on the side of the impeccably themed castle, to other experiences also available here, like the amazing new quick service restaurant or the meet and greet location within the grand halls of the royal castle. I really do think that Adventure Bay and Arendelle will be one of the most beautiful areas in Disneyland Paris, especially as it gets darker, with the shining ice castle reflecting in the water of the lake. Speaking of the lake, entertainment is a huge point that we still don't know much about, mostly because it's one of the last things shared before the opening of a new land or expansion such as this. What we do know is that there's a lot to expect on this front. Several venues, large and small, have been built into the expansion, from Gazebo Garden in the middle of Adventure Way to the large lake. As the night falls over the snowy peaks of Arendelle, this venue will be used to display one of the most technologically advanced shows Disney has ever made. But interestingly, little is known about the show itself. This is one of the experiences to come next year that I'm personally most excited about, and I'll go over why in a minute. What we do know about this show is that as it begins to get darker, the barges containing much of the show equipment will be brought from backstage, very similarly to how it happens in Epcot, with the help of the rotating bridge and assembled in the center of the lake. The show will then count with fountains, water screens, projections, drones, water drones, lights, skylights, pyro effects, fireworks, and more. There's truly a lot combined into just one package. It's a unique setup too, because the audience will be all around the lake, and with several viewing levels built into the shores of the lake, more people will be able to clearly view everything than on Central Plaza and Main Street next door, offering a much better experience. As you're seeing here, there are a few bits and pieces of testing filmed and shared by fans, but the actual story and properties to be explored are still completely under wraps. Now, why is this such a big deal for the resort? Well, it doesn't come down to just the show, but the entire expansion too. What Disney Adventure World will achieve is making it feel like there are two actual theme parks instead of 1.5. The size and the number of attractions and shows in this park will reach a new height that it absolutely needs. Once it opens, if you want to do everything, you'll need to spend more time in the parks. If you plan on watching the 2 nighttime spectaculars, you'll have to stay for 2 nights. Instead of constantly hopping from one park to the other, now there's more to do and enjoy in Disney Adventure World. In 2024, Disneyland Paris welcomed nearly 16 million guests, with a small dip compared to the year prior that can be attributed to the lackluster summer due to the Olympics. It was the 3rd most attended year in the history of the resort, a year that saw no new rides, no new shows, and a park under construction. And yet, so many people passed through those gates. It'll be very interesting to see how the numbers evolve with the opening next year and how much that amount grows the following years. And this leads me to yet another very important point: the future. Adventure Way and the lake achieved something that was impossible to do in the old park. It unlocked many new expansion possibilities to add more lands and areas. We already know what's coming next, and oh boy, is it incredible! Currently under construction, The Lion King will top off the original Disney Adventure World project. Combined with Frozen, it'll bring this side of the park to a completely different level and offer some very nice thrills, while also creating what I think will be one of Disney's best dark rides anywhere. As The Lion King opens, there are several other expansion possibilities that came with the expansion, like In Between Frozen and Road Trip, or Road Trip itself that is currently using a very large piece of land ripe for the taking. Another possibility is between Frozen and The Lion King, although that land is currently protected and some work would need to happen in order to use it. And even between Avengers Campus and The Lion King, if the removal of the Theater of the Stars happens. You can see how this expansion was created with the future in mind too. Another thing to take into consideration is that once Disney Adventure World is closer to what people might call a full-day park, which I would say it will be once The Lion King comes along, and the investment in the park pays off with more visits each year and longer stays, the Walt Disney Company will finally look next door for where to invest, and the Disneyland park will finally receive something new that it so desperately deserves. So why is Disney Adventure World much bigger than some people may realize? Well, it comes down to one thing. This isn't the end of an expansion, but rather the beginning of a new chapter for Disneyland Paris. A new era that will be anchored on expansion and new experiences, drawing in more people than ever, further fueling the fire. So that is why this is such an important event in the more than 30-year-old history of the resort, even if it doesn't seem that big at first glance. Since you're already here, in late November, Disney will host a press event dedicated to Disney Adventure World, and information regarding its opening, new details on entertainment, and many others are expected. So make sure to subscribe as not to miss anything, and join us over on the Discord community. Links are in the description. So, what do you think, and what are you most excited for next year? Tell me down below. And now, as always, thank you for watching, and that's a wrap.